Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, back to the Swain Batty League. The season 9. We're about to start week 9 as well. Another 9. I'm 30, and tonight I'll be joined by AJ Zero. How are you doing tonight?
Hey man, doing really good. We got some exciting games coming tonight as we try to figure out who will not make the playoffs.
Yeah, it honestly all these games tonight are pretty important. This first one a little less so for one team who is already eliminated from playoffs. That being QBC on the blue side here. But before we get into that, actually, let's talk about MVPs from last week. Game 1, going over to One Trick Bronies and TD Garbage, first MVP of the season here on Jungle Nocturne 10-3 and 13. Very good performance by him, but also everyone on his team rallying together in this late season run towards the playoffs here. Game 2, Sword and Mace, another familiar face here. Malphite 4, 5, and 6. Scoreline doesn't look very good. They really squeaked by with a win on the whole for TSA, but he did play the very hard initiation role for his team very well. And game 3, wow, that's quite a Caitlyn picture. Pot of Greed Cammer,
Yo,
Caitlyn 8, 6,
can
and
we
3.
can we talk about that picture real quick?
Yeah.
I don't think Cameron's old enough to look at pictures like that. I do not think we should be using pictures for the boy. Like these guys. Let's not go putting dirty thoughts in his head. He's still a pure little boy who's probably never.
Yeah,
I'm just thinking of all the things the Dick Suck Squad says now, so I don't know. Maybe he's seen lewd anime girls before.
Yeah, I wouldn't really put it past him. If you're a member of this community, I think you have seen lewd anime girls before. I'd put money on it that every single person in this TeamSpeak has seen.
Yeah, I feel
lewd
like
anime girls.
The benchmark now, it's like, have you seen lewd anime girls with penises? Because that's like when you're into some, that's not normie shit. But
not normie shit.
But out of this game, so we got QBC and Coffee House, and some pressure kind of on Coffee House. They were looking good last week for a while, but not able to finish it up versus TSA in what would have been a really huge win for them, because now Coffee House is only a single game up on the One Trick Bronies, who are the favorites to be competing for those last 2 spots, and so the pressure's on. Like this should be an easy game, but they cannot afford to drop it.
Yeah, and that's honestly quite a bit of pressure, and they have been slightly slumping since their pretty fantastic start of the season. I think they went like 4-1, maybe, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
on the
they
first
started
half.
4-1, and they've lost the 3 games to start out the second round robin.
Yeah, so it's not only, like you said, a very important playoff race game for them, but just morale wise, this would be pretty devastating to lose against this QBC lineup, who last week maybe they were showing us maybe that they're not fully committed.
Well, I think last week they knew they weren't going to keep winning with what they had been running, and they just wanted to try something drastically different. I don't think the picks themselves were bad. They are just bad.
Okay. That's fair. That's a fair assessment, actually. Yeah, the picks actually could have worked out. But
yeah, I mean, those are picks that they actually play. Like Wang on the Tryndamere being the obvious one. He was coming off like 10 games of Tryndamere and solo queue, and he actually does queue as top mid laner most of the time when he plays solo queue, which if you know Wang, he plays a lot of solo queue.
Yeah. Yes, he does.
But I'm not sure if he maybe account shares, because like watching him play last week, he didn't seem to know what he was doing with that Tryndamere. But we are into the draft through all the bans and through our first 2 rotations at picks. And we already have the mid lane. The mid lane matchup after the first 2 rotations of pick. That does not happen in the SBL.
Yeah, I was about to say, because is Annie the first champion alphabetically? Just because she's first alphabetically doesn't mean you have to first pick her overall. That on blue side, that's. I mean, I'm very interested to see where this Annie's gonna go. First off, but yeah, no surprise here with Jinx and Ori being picked up by Coffee House. Oriana actually, Zyra is still up, and usually they would just go straight for that.
Looking for something different, maybe coming off a few losses. Cruz has not played. Sorry, he's played 7 of his 8 games have been Swain or Zyra, with a single Karma game coming back in week 2. So this is a new champion for him, and not something I think of when I think of Cruz.
Yeah, no, and this might be Coffee House looking to diversify their champ pool going into the playoffs here. Playing against potentially easier opponent. Try out some things that you haven't, fully won with on stage before. Um, Gonna be a Blitzcrank grab as well for QBC. Man, two of those champs bring me way back to season 1 there, but
Yeah, this
but
is
yeah.
this is gonna be another week where Salvo early picks the Jinx, and there is going to be a ton of pressure on him. That Annie is going to be flashing him on cooldown. The Blitzcrank is going to make laning phase hell. Salvo is going to have very little room for error if Coffeehouse want to win this game. And we've seen after the early season reputation Salvo had on the Jinx, he lost 2 straight games as it. And last week when it was available versus TSA, he didn't even pick it. So I'm not surprised that he went back to the Jinx, but clearly it was more of a point of discussion than it had been early in the season.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I mean this week though, just flexing his muscles. Jinx is open, he's gonna pick it always. But it looks like the team comp they've already drafted around Jinx is meant to protect Jinx really in the first place. You got the beefy frontline Nautilus, and then Orianna, such a good late game scaling utility mage. Doesn't really bring all of that damage that Zyra might later in the game, but she brings the shields and speed boost which are necessary. Amumu as well. Man, they really want to bring it home reunion tour here.
I miss 2010. Holy crap.
Yeah, there's not many champions in the game back then to pick from.
I mean, by the end of 2010, there were a lot.
Yeah. Oh my god! The Bronzonia!
Yeah, that's pretty close.
That's pretty close. That's the closest I've ever seen in an SBL game.
Okay, I'm gonna make a prediction here.
Oh my god.
QBC loses this game in 25 minutes as Mad Cow picks up 25 solo kills in the top lane versus that Malphite.
Wow.
That's a kill a minute. I think he can do it. That's Malphite, okay? I'm going all in on... Unless he plays the Nautilus, in which case that's not happening.
Yeah, I know.
No, the Nautilus has to be the support, so he's playing either, I assume, the Olaf, but maybe the Graves.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, wow, yeah, there's a lot of flexible stuff in there. But yeah, the Graves, that throw back to last season, pulling out that top Graves. I don't know if that's even played anymore.
I have no idea if it works anymore or not. I have no idea who's gonna play. That's so. Those are not dub drum champs. Like the Olaf is more of a dub drum champ.
Yeah, no, I mean Graves and Olaf are both dub drum champs, I believe. I assume he plays Graves. Well, it seems like a champion he would be into.
I don't know. When I think of dub drum, I think of like the hard dive. I'm sure he loves being the damage carry, but
that's true.
He's pretty traditionally, Zax and Vi's, which were we like hardly even talked about the best. I really like those Zac and Vi bands. I think that puts dub drum into a much less comfortable place. The only champ he's played besides Zac and Vi this split has been a single game on Jarvan.
I'll beat it out of you.
So we'll give him a sec. We'll figure out who's playing what here.
Yeah. Yeah, and surprisingly, the Zyra wasn't banned at all. I mean, they must have maybe looked at Cruise Masters match history, maybe not playing it as much, or maybe the Annie mid lane is a bad matchup for Zyra. I'm not sure, but no priority spent there. And then
it shouldn't be too awful of a matchup because Zyra can outrange the Annie so hard. It should be similar to the Orianna matchup. It's just going to go worse when you screw up.
Yeah.
But Orianna's a fairly conventional good matchup versus Annie because she has to get, without using her flash, she has to get so close to trade on you, and you can easily abuse her range with the ball.
Yeah, Wang just messaged me. You think we looked at anything? Okay, that's my mistake. I apologize. Yeah, of course I didn't look at any match histories. That would be foolish here in the SBL.
Yeah, they clearly haven't been doing it for 8 weeks, so why start now?
Yeah, and folks, the lineup I have on the screen there, that was just I think the most conventional lineup they ran with throughout the split. But if I switch over to the client view, we're still going through the draft here, but this is where the roles.
Oh my god,
the roles
this
are
is
actually
it.
Doing.
This is the roster we told them to run all season, where they just force somebody into the jungle and hope for the best.
Yeah, I guess, and that's the elected jungler is going to be Grand Spiffy. He did it last week to not great success on that Jungle Warwick, I believe.
Yeah,
Um,
174.
oh, wait a
It
minute. Is
was,
this, are we on patch 7.7?
I believe so.
Oh my god, Amumu got hella buffed. Like,
Thank God they're preparing
legit. Wow,
for.
this might work out. This actually, the Amumu jungle might be one of the stronger picks in this lineup, surprisingly. Aside from Lucian, obviously. But
Yeah. So looking at this comp, I feel like they needed the Blitzcrank. I don't know. I feel like they needed one more big AOE ult. If you're gonna go with this 2010, like you gotta commit, you know?
yeah. And there's plenty of them. I mean, yeah, we're in 2017 now, so they've had plenty of champs with huge AoE abilities. Orianna, see, that would have been good for this. But I guess then you don't have an ADC. Oh, any ADC. I don't know. Ziggs, you could. There's plenty of ADC picks with AoE.
I mean, you know, it's probably not worth talking about the compositional side of QBC's draft.
I would agree.
That would put too much, give it a little too much respect.
Yeah. Well, actually, Century GG, let's talk about him for a sec. This is a pretty odd pick for him, I assume. I don't recall him playing Nautilus at all this season.
Yeah,
He usually defaults to Janna or
yeah, he's been
another mage
almost
type support.
He played Alistair once, otherwise it's been Janna, Karma. It was Brand last week.
Yeah.
So I think that was a reaction to the picks that were being made, where they knew they needed something that had some strong peel potential for Salvo, and also I think it was a denial pick because I want to say Spiffy has played. Yeah, Spiffy and Kishot have both played Nautilus in the top lane, and I think they just didn't want to deal with potentially having depth charge teleport onto Salvo. So you know they got the. I mean, QBC was fine with that. They picked the next best thing, Malphite.
Yeah. No, that's very, very true. Slightly weaker laning phase, though. Probably going to get bullied pretty hard by Mad Cow here on this Olaf, which I'm excited to see in the top lane. Actually, more so than the Graves. I think there's actually a little higher carry potential on the Olaf here.
I think this is the right selection of roles for Coffee House. And do you remember Mad Cow going up against Sword and Mace's Malphite last week? He got pretty big playing Wukong last week.
Yeah.
He just wasn't super successful with the transition into mid game. But this matchup should be. I've learned that allegedly Wukong is not a good matchup against Malphite. That's apparently supposed to be, as far as Malphite matchups go, relatively Malphite sided. But this should just be a real old school counter pick. And Kishot has not been great in lane most games that he's played top lane.
Yeah, I if anything, I would have expected, I do expect Sword and Mace to handle the Malphite a little bit better in the laning phase than Kishot has shown in previous weeks. And I mean, this is Mad Cow's wheelhouse. Like, these bruiser-like champions that are usually melee-oriented, build a good amount of AD and then transition to tank. This is his bread and butter. So this would be a good statement game to say, like, hey, we're, me, but also Coffee House as a whole going into playoffs here. We're here to win. Watch me style as Olaf.
Yeah, and if it starts working, it's going to be pretty stylish.
I honestly don't know what to say about this this game coming up here. It's, if anything, this is because Sensor GG, like you said, he had to respond with that tank in the bottom lane, not only against the Blitzcrank, but just on the whole has to sort of match up against a very heavy front line from QBC. I feel like this composition's a little heavier on the tank side of things for Coffee House and how they like to play. So, because last week I remember it was very like damage oriented. We want to get our lanes ahead. Usually, what they do with Dubdrum in the jungle, they get ahead and they have all of these damage picks that make it a lot easier for them to win fights once they're ahead. But this is a more reserved lineup or composition, I might say.
Yeah, we will see. I think this is gonna be a really uncomfortable game for Sensory GG. Just I feel like it's gonna be really hard for him to have an impact as Nautilus playing aggressively. I think he's gonna have to almost exclusively play Nautilus to peel.
Yep.
Like who are the obvious targets on the enemy team that you're gonna want to try to dive at? So, like,
Yeah, I mean it's only Lucian, honestly. I don't know how Wang's gonna build this mid lane Annie, but once you get around that mid game area with Annie, her Molten Shield, her E is makes her deceptively tanky. It's not actually someone you want to be going in on necessarily. Lucian's really the only one you'd want to get in that depth charge, but yeah, I agree. He's gonna be really on peel duty for Salvo and possibly Dub Drum. Alright, folks. Loaded up here on the Rift. Starting with game 1 of week 9. Oh, and
hey!
boom.
Yo, I want to give a shout out to Sasquatch if you're also going to look at him with that nice Riot Blitzcrank. That's a beautiful skin.
Oh, wow, yeah, I should have realized. That's a rare.
That's
a rare
I believe
rod.
super tough to get.
Yeah, you had to go to a Riot event like early 2010, 2011, 2012.
Yeah,
where-
I don't think they give that shit out anymore.
No.
It is not necessarily a great looking skin.
No, it is not. But
And there's a charm to that, man. It brings me back.
yeah, no, I love it, man. Good. Props to him for having that. I honestly I haven't seen at least anyone that I know personally with a black Alistar skin, and that denotes I think he played in beta, which I don't know if there's a lot of beta players anymore nowadays. I feel like even a lot of the pros that are competitive nowadays started like season 2, maybe season 3 once League really blew up. A lot of the young pro players at least.
I'm trying to think across the LCS regions of the guys, the OGs that are left still
the old
playing.
guard.
I mean, we
Yeah.
got Xpecial, we got Peter Pang, we got Soaz, we have Expeke for a few more days.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh man, what a shit show OG is. But
Yeah.
talking about shit shows, it looks like QBC they were looking for the shit show. They're invading here on the enemy jungle. Sneaky Tribush, but Coffee House doing the same. Maybe expecting to invade here, but on the opposite side.
Yeah, Coffeehouse is expecting that Blitzcrank invade that like literally every Blitzcrank team in solo queue does.
Is my direct camera working? I'm just actually staring at Coffee House.
Yeah, same.
Okay.
Now we're up to QBC.
Yeah, don't look at the ones moving. Just look at the ones standing
I mean,
still.
they weren't moving for a while.
That's true. And it's just gonna be one more to place.
You got to give Spectator the benefit of the doubt here. I mean, it's not like it's an atrociously buggy system that's in its 6th year or anything, where we constantly have to up the speed to make sure we're not staggering behind for no reason.
Yeah, that would be ludicrous.
I mean,
But it
they
makes
did-
sense for the indie game company.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have the resources. No, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Oh wow. This is this little yellow circle.
Oh my God.
Around blue. That's a new updated visual for Amumu and his passive. His passive's changed, folks. It
Oh God.
doesn't reduce magic resist flat anymore. It
What does it do?
It increases magic damage dealt to the target. I think only Amumu though, and it's true damage if you hit him with some more magic after
Oh,
you
that's fun.
hit the buff, something like that. Yeah, so pretty standard starts for both teams here. Well, actually, I mean it's standard blue start for Amumu here. Dubjum does his red early on, and he's looking for Grand Spiffy, but he's gonna find him already moving down his red side jungle.
And Mad Cow is already laying the pain down at level 2. He is really close to a kill here.
Ooh.
And he gets the flash.
Oh!
First blood to Mad Cow. Gonna trade. But maybe gonna deny Kishot some CS in the process.
Yeah, the wave placement right now actually, it looks like it's frozen actually a little on Kiss Shot's side. Oh no,
Yeah,
it's
Kishot will be able to mop that. He'll be able
yeah,
to teleport in and get that.
yep,
Honestly, that wasn't worth it for Mad Cow.
yeah, and, yeah.
Because
Kiss Shot
he
still has
blew his...
flash.
Yeah, he blew
Yeah,
his flash for that.
yeah. Oh, but
And he
Dodrum
won't...
in the mid lane here goes on to my Wang's got the red buff ticking. Wang uses the flash pretty late, but it's gonna be enough to survive the gank.
Yeah, I think Wayne was trying to bait Drum into overcommitting there. It didn't happen. I don't blame him for trying.
Yeah.
He kind of knew he was safe. It's not like Drum was going to randomly stun him. Ooh, but Darth Evo taking the hook, but able to skirt through the Jinx snare. And this has turned into a lot of damage onto both supports. Those... You ain't going to win trades in this lane going on to the support, guys.
Yeah, no. But it's sometimes tough to try to. It's a little intimidating to try to walk past either of these support champions. But I mean, once the CC's down for either of them, they're very harmless. Especially Blitzcrank once his hook and punch are down. So it looks like Grand Spiffy, he is totally fine doing the hard power farm, looking for an early 6, I believe. And Dubjum, he's making his return trip to the mid lane here. No flash on Wang now. Some trading in the top lane here. Yeah, but Dubjum shows up once again. Blue buff, uses the Q, but only going to be half health down to Wang.
I just want to take a moment to say I hate the jungle. Spiffy is up 10 CS, and he's up 30 gold right now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess we'll see if the repeated ganks in mid lane were worth it for Dubjum. I mean, that's just classic Dubjum jungle style. Gank early, gank often, put pressure on the enemy lanes, get your lanes ahead. Hook lands on the Sentry GG. He's already a little bit low here, and the hook misses on the wall, so he's not able to get out. Decides to keep the flash in exhaust. Heal used out of salvo, but kill going over to QBC's bot lane here. Going over to the right person, too, on Darth Evo.
Yeah, remember what I said earlier about trading on to the support? If you manage to botch laning phase badly enough to die as Nautilus at level 4, that's really bad. Like, Nautilus, you right-click him as an AD carry, and his health basically goes off. He's so freaking tanky early. You have to just have zero respect for the enemy bot lane to die as Nautilus. And that's really rough, because Lucian Blitzcrank is going to snowball so hard with a lead.
Yeah, and like we said in the draft, this was the bot lane, and I mean, really the whole team. Oh, Wang unleashes the combo to Cruisemaster, but Cruisemaster retaliates with the shockwave of his own. Late flash, already the ignite's ticking. No health pots there. Ragnarok pop for Mad Cow in top lane, but not able to tower dive. Kiss shot there. But yeah, no, this is the bot lane we've wanted the whole season. Darth Evo and Sasquatch, and on what I guess. I won't speak for you, but personally, I think Sasquatch is a support player, man. He plays it well, so I think Darth Evo and Sasquatch makes sense.
Yes, absolutely. He's going through a really bad phase of being a support player who thinks he's too good to play support with the people in this league, and oh no, salvo! Oh, with the clutch dodge.
Yeah,
that's what we're calling that. That was a clutch dodge from my boy Salvo.
I feel like the Sasquatch versus Salvo mind game is so huge, and who can try to tilt each other more. But Salvo's like pretty level-headed, pretty stable. Sasquatch though.
Well, yeah, Salvo doesn't tilt at least.
Yeah.
Whereas I'm not sure if Sasquatch ever really stops tilting for an extended period.
He's always, that's his secret. He's always on tilt. I mean, this game's pretty dead even. Even the first blood going over to Coffee House, it doesn't mean much because technically they're down a little bit of gold.
Yeah, I'm still really waiting for Mad Cow to arrive. Man, Kishak got a bit of an EXP advantage out of how that first blood played out. I feel like I just feel like Mad Cow would be bigger right now if he hadn't taken that trade.
Yeah. So Grand Spiffy, he's 5 right now. Should be hitting 6 soon because Dubdrum's already 6. Hook lands onto Sasquatch. Additional CC comes in to try to stun him. Exhaust goes on to Darth Evo, and Salvo laying down the auto attacks. It's going to force QBC bot lane back to respect the hook with the Relic Shield proc.
Yeah, that was...
ooh, that
nice
hook lands.
Nice hook on the Evo, and now comes the depth charge. Salvo going in. Salvo gets excited on the kill, but not going to get the tower dive. Thank you, directed camera.
Yeah, he shot the rocket there too. Missed it. Actually, no flash out of Sasquatch. No summoners used from the QBC bot lane in that whole fight. So I guess that's a misplay for sure, not using the heal there, because the auto's in midair from Jinx. You got to use the heal to keep yourself alive there. But that was a fantastic hook out of Sentry GG.
Yeah, actually, the heal was on cooldown for about 10 seconds still when Sasquatch died.
Rip. Okay, no misplay. My mistake. But yeah, the heal would have been meant everything there.
I would say something like, oh yeah, Salvo and Sentry, good job to time the summoners and go for their all-in, but that's not what happens.
Nope. Oh, man.
Yeah, I do find it funny that immediately following some trash talk, Salvo's spamming some emotes, Sasquatch answers with a kill onto Sentry, tells Salvo to keep spamming that emote, and then Salvo comes back, gets a kill of his own. This is the kind of bot lane matchup the SBL was made for.
Yeah, I agree. It's nice to see some players with fiery hearts of passion. Flash Tibbers onto Cruise Master, uses the shield to try to stay alive here, but the flash hook from a Sasquatch Ignite's still going to secure it for Wang though.
I just can't help but wonder if they had played with this lineup all season.
Yeah, I mean, for Sasquatch with the right mindset, they're roaming into mid lane on the Blitzcrank, uses his flash and helps secure that kill for Wang.
Yeah, they're only down 500 gold in the top lane too. Like this is
manageable.
they're also down 500 gold in the jungle. Dubdrum farming a lot more efficiently, but oh well, like you're winning the bottom 2 lanes.
Yeah.
Oh, Evo takes the hook. He takes the chompers. Sasquatch to be actually. Sasquatch is in time. He gets the kill onto Salvo, and a culling comes out as they're trying to turn this around. Smithy whiffs the curse of the sad mummy.
Oh,
I think
man.
we know why Amumu cries now.
Can we get some sad faces or some TT smiley faces in the chat, man? That's so sad. Oh, that feels bad, man. You hit 6 as a Mumu, think you're gonna make a big impact on Summoner's Rift today, and you do one of those. But
And
oh,
Romasia coming to town. Kishon has to ult defensively.
Yeah,
that felt
wow.
like a very clowny minute and a half.
yeah, it was. Yeah, so Kishot using that Malphite ult to stay alive and put distance past his own tower on the Ragnarok Olaf here. And
they're playing this pretty aggressively. Sal's pretty far. Dubdrum eats the hook out of his Sasquatch. He has to ult defensively, but now the Orianna is in a 2-man shockwave with a lot of damage coming down. QBC tucking their tails and trying to get out. Smithy with the flash, but the hook secures the kill, and that's going to get Salvo the excitement. A second kill comes out for Cruise Master. Wang trades mid turret for it, but Jinx is going to easily take this turret in the bot lane. Oh yeah, that was super fucking low.
Yeah, but more importantly, first brick. I think it was in the top lane actually, going over to Mad but both top and bottom tier 1s going down for QBC there. Only answered back by a mid tower on the coffee house lineup.
Steel, we got to pick up this water dragon as well. So overall, a nice series of events for Coffee House.
Yeah, the Cruise Master. I'm curious on where he flanked. If he walked through that control ward through river, or did he came around through their own tribe? I don't think QBC really anticipated Cruise Master being there. Or if they did, it's just really cocky of them to try to take that 3v4.
No, I don't think they were timing Salvo getting back properly either. Smithy, you don't want to fight that guy. He's bigger than you. Maybe this is 2017 Amumu. I stand corrected. We'll fuck you up.
Oh man, so is this just 5-man blitz we got going on? in mid lane, they take down the tower without any defense from QBC.
Yeah, QBC just didn't expect them to keep rotating. They were sitting on so much gold from the 2 turrets and all the kills. They must have just assumed they were going back after the dragon, like most teams would, and Coffeehouse catch them with their pants down.
Yeah. So yeah, smart little adaptation there from Coffeehouse, playing off the instincts of players. There's always beats. There's like a tempo to the game, and they sort of mixed it up there, catching QBC off guard. But 5-5 in kills. The 3-1 tower lead's gonna do it all. Scarl hooked into the Rift Herald pit with her Sasquatch. He has to blow the flash and uses the jump thing. What is this even called?
The blast cone, and Spiffy does not come close to connecting on that bandage toss, nor opts to go for an ultimate there. A really cool play setup, and did not succeed. And,
no! Failed fish, failed timbers.
The timbers. And now Mad Cow, you don't have to wait for it to defend that tower. Now Dublin gets hooked. He is going to go down too. Oh, that was... Sasquatch now leading his team in kills.
Wow, yeah.
We see Sensory GG coming down the flank. The Oriana ball gonna take his shot, and he has to ult defensively again. But a depth charge coming really deep here. And watching Salvo shadow rocket him off screen, but not gonna be necessary as Cruise Master picks up his third of the match.
Oh man, I like Sasquatch. His flash there was just like, nope, you're dead, man. I think he was trying to not get hit by the depth charge, but because I don't think he needed a flash to stay alive there. But it's funny to watch your teammate go down like that. But at the end of the day, no top tower taken by QBC. They just picked up a bunch of kills for themselves. They actually have a kill lead now, but like I said earlier, they're still down 3-1 towers here, so they gotta start playing the map a little bit more. If anything, this composition benefits from grouping up for QBC, this large AoE teamfight composition, but it's really Coffeehouse that's been doing the grouping up.
Yeah, the big question is going to be who is in charge of stopping Mad Cow if he starts to split push. He is up 1,400 gold on Kiss Shot.
Yeah, and it could have been a lot worse at this point, honestly. 1-2-0, it could be really bad.
Yeah, a lot of that leads just coming from the turrets.
Mm-hmm.
But Mad Cow, he's about to walk past a positioned Sasquatch. Oh man, Mad Cow is about to get put down. As there comes the knock up, the MR down, the hook in. Mad Cow trying to do this on Evilite, actually forces a flash, almost gets the kill, and he goes in. Oh, he's so close, but does not get the kill. Evilite walking out with his second. And now follow the rocket, follow the rocket, follow the rocket, and it misses.
Yeah, am I behind? Oh, flash for flash. Bandage toss misses, but the Timber lands. Salvo is eliminated very quickly there. Now Dub Jump, he's getting a tussle with Wang. Uses that shield to stay alive, and it'll be a 1-for-1 trade, or 1-for-0 in the mid lane there. Going over to QBC, hook just out of range. But man, that was real close for Darth Evo. They almost had some egg on their face if Mad Cow was able to pick up that 1 kill on his death.
Yeah, I mean, at least QBC is pretty accustomed to getting a lot of egg on their face this split. But not what they could have used there. But maybe that was calculated. We got to give these guys the benefit of the doubt sometimes, okay?
Yeah.
Evo's a smart guy. He's playing well this split, despite the team he is on.
That is true. He by far the most consistent player on this lineup, and yeah, I mean it begs the question what it'd be like if he could be a top ADC.
Caught out in his own jungle. He takes the hook. The depth charge coming out. Wang a little late there, but the ults are coming out. Here comes the wombo. Here comes the combo. But no one goes down. A good exhaust on the Wang, and now they've killed Spiffy. They've killed Kiss Shot.
Hook goes wide. Wow, I mean, I definitely some miscommunication from QBC. It looked like, hey, we're gonna leave Spiffy for dead. Just kidding. I'm gonna ult here, and then Kisha's like, oh yeah, just kidding, we're fighting. And then Wang, he was already walking into mid lane and turns around with the flash tibbers.
They would have. Oh, but we don't have time to stop because Salvo getting hooked in here. But Sasquatch trying to 1v the world, and I don't know why. He goes down to Cruz, and the tower dive coming onto Wang, a shutdown, and Tibbers not going to finish off anybody. As we now see the Malphite teleporting into the bear.
Oh no!
Oh, and Mancow's just doing his thing over in the mid.
Yeah. Oh, it took down a tier 2 mid tower. Wow. Yeah. So a series of misplays, it appears. What honestly, about a minute ago, what could have been just an Amumu death turned into, I think, their full team getting aced in some way, except for maybe Darth Evo, in a very segmented fashion. But they lose another tower, very important one, the tier 2 in the mid lane. So the map's pretty open for Coffeehouse to do whatever they want. Ocean Drake's up and live, so they could look for a second one of those. Where's the Lucian? I mean, honestly, is Jinx already to the point? Whoa, Blade of the Ruined King.
Welcome to ADC in 2017, lol.
Oh, okay. So advantage toss for Ragnarok. That's a good trade at the end of the day. But the hook comes in. Darth Evo is gonna get locked up by Sensory GG as he leads the charge, and he's just a man. This support Nautilus tanking so much damage here, and Skarl, he's gonna get stunned up, gets a little bit low. Sasquatch is gonna get pulled in by that shockwave, and he might go down, and he will. Only one death so far in the fight. You know, 1 for 0.
That was such a clowny team fight. Did you watch how like Sensory GG was like walking in and all of Coffeehouse like stuttered like, we don't know if we can back you up, man.
Yeah, he totally could, man. He actually didn't go for Face the Mountain here. He went for Eye of the Equinox, but still pretty damn tanky. Got the early Ninja Tabby as well. So he really doesn't care what Darth Evo is putting out right now. Oh, yeah, so that was the second Ocean Drake that happened right before that fight. So they do have 2 for them on the board. But yeah, the Blade of the Ruined King, I know that it is a very good item right now, but in my mind, Jinx is just like that very stereotypical, like, crit heavy, you know, give me the full build ADC guy.
I don't know if Jinx are doing it. It's not like literally 100% of ADKs, but maybe he's just expecting Kishot and Spiffy to get so healthy over the course of this game. I'm as critical as anyone gets of Salvo's builds. This might be legit. I don't know enough to say for sure.
Yeah. But, I mean, I guess it makes my analysis pretty easy because it'll show that Darth Evo is up in items. Because it seems like they're going... Oh, and there we go. The deviation begins. I assume Lucian is not... He's going for Trinity Force? Or Frozen Mallet?
Black Cleaver?
Black Cleaver? Oh, yeah, that's the one. Yep, that makes sense.
I think the Bork Cleaver build is back for Lucian.
Yep, and yeah,
God
looks
bless.
like
That is
Static Shiver, Phantom Dancer, something attack speed related for Salvo. But, I mean, Jinx isn't totally out of control yet.
No, absolutely not.
No, and so QBC, they have room to work here, and honestly, this Wombo just needs to start landing all together. They just need to stay as one unit and impress R together, because they haven't done so.
QBC has so much play potential. They are one fight away from turning this game on its ass. And we've seen Coffeehouse kind of have some, I don't want to say bad shot calling, but they're prone to making like 1 or 2 just really big mistakes on a macro level of game. And they're just one, you know, getting caught 4v5 in the mid lane away from this game being in QBC's favor.
Yeah. Oh, for Sasquatch, he was speeding up. He was looking for the pick there.
Oh, and I think they're committed. They're gonna go for this tower dive. They're playing this forward as the hook lands on the jump rope. He gets lit apart, but it's not enough. QBC's playing this forward as a 1-for-1 trade so far. As a Mumu is in with a great ult, but his entire backline is running like hell. Wang, you can't stop him. He's from Bromacia. That's gonna be a weird team fight.
So a 3 for 4 at the end of the day in favor of Coffeehouse. Close but no cigar, honestly. Dum deceptively a little bit tankier than maybe QBC expected, but they just didn't lay down all the Wombo at the same time once again. They thought they could maybe just finish it off with a couple, but
You know
Yeah.
what would have won that team fight really hard?
Huh.
Misfortune.
Ooh, how could I forget Misfortune? Like the very perfect AoE ADC for the Wombo combo team comp. Yeah, whatever happened to her?
I don't know.
She was playing Blade support at Worlds, and then like all the
She's
time.
gonna play support this split even. She was
Yeah,
very
you're
popular
right,
at the very start of the split as an AD carry. Before the ADC in 2017 LoL meta took full swing.
Yeah. So I mean, a close fight for QBC there. I don't
The problem
think...
was they gave up their backline, and Amumu and Malphite and Blitzcrank are not going to finish off anybody under an enemy turret, and that's kind of what ended up happening there.
Yeah, no, that's a good
Is
point.
Wang and Evo were running for their lives instead of being able to finish up that team fight.
Yeah, I mean the whole lineup. Now that you bring that point up, it's really Darth Evo. Good luck, Godspeed. Try to kite and outrun a Ragnarok Olaf. Thank God he doesn't have Ghost. On top of that,
But so they're set up for the same play, and there's not a teleport dimension. A flash! It's hook on to Salvo. He gets lit up, but the shockwave comes out and saves Salvo's life. And Wang misses another Timbers. Oh no! And now this is so bad for QBC. As Mad Cow takes the tier 2 in the bot lane, and he's gonna keep going. But another hook lands on the top rope, and this time the kill.
There we go!
Alpha comes out and hits everyone remaining. QBC is pushing forward. This could turn into a base race as Mad Cow is now on the tier 3 bot. And the remaining members of QBC are going to keep pushing up this mid lane. They have a big enough creep wave. It's going to be Wang holding on to the base.
oh my God! So they're not gonna lose an inhibitor, but they're gonna lose an inhibitor to. Oh no!
They're not. This is a big win for QBC.
Yeah.
Is Mad Cow? I think
Oh, no!
for this tower time, and he's Bromassiing, and he gets the turret, but he does not get the Wang.
Yeah.
But no, Smithy goes forward, he gets the Amumu. Oh, Cruiser is down. Sensory GG is being lit up. And he's trying to run, but he is not going to make another double kill for Darth Afterlife.
Wait, is this it? Can they finish?
Oh man, I don't know.
If Sasquatch lands a hook, okay, so he's gonna miss that one.
A big hook.
Okay, they can't finish, but they're pinging the dragon. This Infernal Drake going over to QBC. I don't see how Kavios could contest this aside from a miracle snag with the Grave Smite or the Jinx Rocket.
Oh my God! If Salvo steals this from Spiffy, does that like end Spiffy's jungle career right on the spot?
Yeah. All right, Salvo, being a wise man. Well, I don't actually. I mean, I don't know what the cooldown is on that. Why not throw it out?
I don't think they had any vision.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a real shot in the dark. So.
Yeah, so you're trying to guess when they even got to the dragon. If they had ran straight to the dragon, which I mean they could have based first. I don't blame them for not shooting that one.
Yeah, but now the gold a little bit closer than it was.
Yeah, within 1,000.
Yeah. Still up in kills, so QBC really not gonna go down without fighting it to the death. And as we can see in these repeated mid lane engagements, so they're finally starting to fire on all cylinders and get the Wombo together.
Yeah,
Wang a little
now,
small misplay there on the Tibbers, but that 3-man Malphite ult really got them going.
Yeah, and the big thing is they have a fire dragon. Coffee House, they're sitting on 2 waters against a hard engaged Wombo team where they're almost never going to get a chance to regen. This is probably one of the worst games you could ever get a double water in.
Yeah, no, absolutely, yeah. Those Ocean Drakes allow like going up against poke compositions, or even if yourself is a poke composition but you don't plan on being engaged on, that's when those juice all of their value and they get really crazy. But yeah, like you said, the QBC, they want to press R and they want the fight to be over within 10 seconds. Nothing more. But this Baron is really the next priority, and QBC, they have the vision down, so they're baiting this out. Sensory GG is gonna look for the ward. A hook actually lands on the double jump, the jungler, and they're gonna pick him off. Kill goes over to Darth Evo.
He loses his flash, that's the smite off the board, and now such a scary Baron force.
Yeah, this is it. They've started. Hook misses on the Sensory GG. I don't know. I guess, yeah, if you could hook someone in now when the Baron's healthy, that'd be ideal, but Salvo laying down the chompers, trying to get some additional zone. Cruz is way far back, and Mad Cow is farming the mid lane. Are they not even going to contest this?
Wow. I'm actually surprised by that.
That is... Okay. Kiss shot blocking the rocket there. See, now that's right there ends his SBL career. If Grant Smithy misses the smite there. Oh,
but,
man.
Fortunately for QBC, Grant Smithy does not miss that smite. Miss that smite. And now this is going to be a really tough situation for Coffeehouse to be in. As Sasquatch going under the turret here, looking for the play. Kiss shot, what the fuck was that flash? Cruisemaster with a big shockwave. Now Smithy jumps in. He has to pop the sand bomb defensively as he's taking a lot of damage. Scarl is in dis, and he gets the kill on the Smithy. Pushing forward. Jesus, he's putting down a lot of damage. When he goes down to Wang, who is one hit from dead.
Holy
and now the
moly.
death charge coming on to Everlight, but there's really no one that can follow on this. Sensory GG gets hooked in, but Salvo is here. He just needs one kill, and the exhaust is onto Evo. A flash forward out of Salvo. He is so close to this reset and trying to chase this down, but he misses the zap.
Oh my god, and Dum Dum should be able to pick this one up easy. Quick draw into auto, but oh man, what a blunder. QBC once again just not syncing up on any of their ultimate usage. For Sasquatch really starts that one a little too bold for his own bridges there, going in with about a 4th health, looking for that snowball hook.
Such a perfect setup. They were in such an awesome position with where all the creep waves were positioned, with having Baron. There was no way Mad Cow was going to be able to set up any kind of split pressure on the opposite side of the map, and they just botched everything that was going right for them, and half of this Baron buff.
Yeah, it makes you wonder. They might have honestly, they should have easily gotten the top inhibitor off that Baron push there, but maybe not anymore.
A 6th seed without botching a few Baron power plays.
That's very true. But actually, Nexus Tower went down during all of that fighting by minions and almost nearly took out a second one.
Too. Yeah, that's really tough to do with the mid lane inhibitor down, because those mid lane supers, if you're not aware, they won't focus on either turret like a side lane would. So typically, you'll rarely see meaningful pressure on the Nexus turrets when you have supers in mid. You have to let a gigantic wave build up, and that's what happened there. Like I said, it was just such an awesome setup for QBC to be in, and it kind of all gets lost there. The mid lane inhibitor just respawned. I mean, they're still a team fight away from ending this game with 200 health on the remaining Nexus turret, but...
Yeah. And this tower, this tier 2 is going to go down for free here. And Coffeehouse has really no right to try to defend that against this team composition. But this is where it's going to be another pivotal team fight for QBC here.
Yeah,
What's the Baron buff looking like?
About 45 seconds left on the Baron, so this last wave might be it.
Ooh, QBC kind of split up there. Sensor GG had an opening for some kind of
hook. There
hook.
we go. It's the hook on a kiss shot. The depth charge on a kiss shot. Question mark ping is now Wang gets literally not getting any off, and Coffeehouse can play this forward. Kiss shot being slowed down here. Watch for the timer on the Nautilus hook because he is looking for it.
Everyone desperately trying to break line of sight. Don't get hooked, but he did. Spiffy got hooked.
Spiffy has to flash the wall. Kiss shot dies to Mad Cow on the other side of the fight, and now Spiffy has to go in and just try to buy time for his team. But that is going to be 3 down and some moderately long death timers here. And there is an inhibitor tower low and another inhibitor exposed here. As Sensory GG is playing this even further forward.
Oh man, he's gonna get tower dove here. Scarlet Wiendus on this Olaf is actually just too tanky to care about one tower alone, and he's gonna pick another kill, getting a killing spree for himself. And Salvo is excited.
It's not much of a creep wave. They can't enter.
Yeah.
They should just go take the second inhibitor and call it. As Cruz has to pop his flash.
Oh, yep, gonna get a bot inhibitor here for sure. Maybe not actually. Yeah, no, people are there to defend.
Yeah, that was just really bad shot calling out of Coffeehouse. They could have just walked down and taken that inhibitor before anyone spawned, and they would have gave up nothing. So,
yeah,
honestly, kind of a best case scenario for QBC there. As we're gonna see a rotation towards this dragon. This should be free for Coffeehouse, so it'll be Earth. So we'll see if that comes into play around the next Baron. as both of these teams can do Baron very fast. Coffeehouse can be able to do it even faster now. Whew, this has turned into a game. I'm very happy. I was worried that we were going to see some full trolling coming out of QBC, but as somebody who has been on some non-playoff teams, I personally believe it's very important to play with pride in these games, because if you can be the spoiler, it's satisfying to be the spoiler if that's all you got left. And like you said in the pregame, this would be a huge loss for Coffeehouse.
Yeah, and Wang, he is stuck in a real bad place in the 1v1 against Mad Cow. Tibbers is not going to be enough to save you, friend. But maybe your friends are going to be enough.
Why are you all showing? They're at Baron!
Oh.
QBC are so lucky that Coffeehouse are also idiots who don't know how to rush a Baron when 4 people show bot at 34 minutes, even though they're a few steps away.
Well, it's not up right now.
Oh, never mind. I retract my prior criticisms. Hey, you know, I was just thinking about how well I'm cast at this game, and then I didn't do that.
Oh man. Yeah, no, that.
So you make those assumptions with SBL teams.
No. I mean, honestly, that was all planned out from QBC. They knew they had enough time there for the minute rotation up from bottom to top to defend the Baron. But I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what happened to Wang in the bot lane. I don't know how he got there. I don't even know how Mad Cow got that kind of flank on him, but it happened. What I did want to say though is your prediction of the 25-minute blowout totally gone now. This is a way better game than that 25-minute blowout reality.
Yeah, absolutely. And Coffeehouse have got to be. I mean, they're sweating a little bit, but they probably don't feel too bad about taking this comp in the late game. Neither of these teams needs to feel bad taking these comps in the late game.
That totally makes sense, and I agree with that. But like League of Legends, when you get past 40 minutes, it's such a volatile game. It really is one mistake can mean the game. And when you have a full lineup from QBC, that's all about grouping up and landing one CC.
And they got to take this fight fast, and they did not get it. Now, Mad Cow is in a really good position. He's going to get that second inhibitor down for Coffeehouse. And QBC are kind of forced into having to set this Baron here, but this is not good. Mad Cow's going to be able to destroy their base, and Dump Drum's there to attempt a 50-50. Oh, QBC screw up everything on this setup, and now in panic, they're on Baron, but Mad Cow has already taken the inhibitor, and he's going to try to pressure to end.
Yeah, and Wang's doing the recall here, so yeah, Coffeehouse successfully deterring QBC from sticking to their plan there and doing the Baron, and yeah, they just lose an inhibitor for free. There's nothing to be gained for QBC.
And now, the flash hook onto Dump Drum as he is lit, and he is down. The Sad Mummy comes out. This could be the fight from QBC. Dump Drum and Cruz are both down, and Salvo has the flash very defensively. There is no smite here to steal, but watch out, there are minions in the base. Mad Cow could look for something crazy here.
Yeah, he has a teleport up still. Oh wait, Coffeehouse, QBC, they're ending the game. They're going for the win.
Yeah, there's only one Nexus turret available. Mad Cow, he did not. If he was gonna go for that teleport play, he's not gonna be able to get it any longer.
I don't know if they can do this. I feel like Jinx
close.
and Olaf might be in. Actually, I don't know.
I have no idea. That is a tanky Malphite.
Yeah.
Turret going down fast, but they have to peel for Evo, and they've already killed Salvo, but now Evo is down. And I don't think they're gonna get their second turret. Oh, and Cruise Master with the shockwave. Oh, that was so much damage. A bunch of kills go over to Mad Cow.
Oh man, the Wombo team comp get womboed at the end, and I don't know if this is gonna be 3 members from Coffeehouse running down mid lane for the win here.
I don't know if they get there in time.
Death timers are long.
This is gonna be really close. They have Dub Jump, they have Cruise, so they'll be able to put some good damage down. But
no, I think this is it. Yeah, this looks like it's it.
There's only a few seconds until spawns, though. how fast does Dum Drum take these turrets? Oh man, they took so much more damage than I realized with creeps. But Graves, he has those reloads, man. Those reloads are scary.
This is close. This is going to be super close. Everyone's going to get up at the same time. There's no minions there to tank it.
Yeah, they take some big tower damage.
Oh, Cruz!
Everyone is flashing out. Kishot going for the kill onto Cruz. But Sasquatch and Evo gonna get the kill onto the Nautilus.
Oh my god!
Still have a Nexus turret available.
Dum Dum got out with his life though. He had used the flash. Is this a reverse throw? Is this like a counter throw? What is this? Jinx is in the blue side jungle of QBC. Is he gonna get caught out here?
Oh
my god. Is Zazzar's gonna see him? Does he know? They don't. There's a ping down.
Oh, I think Salvo's out. Spiffy's going for the blind Q. No, he drops the
Yes, he lands it!
Not blind Q. Salvo gets hooked, and Salvo gets killed by Darth Evo.
And that's it. They're going on the Baron, so they're not going for the finish like they previously did. They're playing it safe.
Call.
Yeah, this is honestly Baron was the right call last time, but this is definitely the right call here. Oh man, GG my dudes came out. Oh man.
Oh, I for some reason I thought that was out of QBC. I just realized that was actually Mad Cow.
Yeah.
Man, nothing is worse than calling GG and then losing.
Yeah. It's like the biggest humiliation in esports there is.
Absolutely. As somebody who's humiliated himself in a lot of esports. Absolutely. And now look at this. This is a big Baron wave coming in. They have a few seconds to siege on this tower before Salvo shows up. And they are going to just tear through this tower. But Evo gets hooked! Oh no! And the big shockwave yet again from Cruise Master. The depth charge shuts down Evolite. And neither of these teams want to win. He takes the hook and he gives up his life.
GG, my dudes in the chat. Oh my god.
Mad Cow is in position in the bot lane. He can fight these guys, can't he?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
these guys.
Wang's there. He cannot fight these guys. He can maybe fight those guys.
What is it? We don't know. I mean,
he's fighting the inhibitor.
Yeah.
Oh, they have 20 seconds here. Remember, there's only one half health Nexus turret available, and now they have the full team. They're pushing forward.
Yeah, this looks like it is. This is the game, but the Malphite ult lands on the Salvo onto the backline of Coffee House, but it's not gonna be enough. Everyone's going down on QBC. The Nexus is now open, and Salvo on the Jinx will have enough here to keep the game. Wait a minute. No. Oh, it's okay. It's over. Holy man!
What a game. The best part about that is some point near the end, I don't know what happened with Spectator, but we must have fell like really far behind. But I think it was server side because we both were synced up.
Yeah.
But I noticed there, I went like times 16 through the last, like the Nexus take. And I was like, oh shit, am I really behind? And then I heard you doing play-by-play and I was like, no, it's just Spectator being Spectate.
Yeah. That game ended 30 kills to 30 kills. Wow. 40 minutes, man. Who do we talk to?
I would like to hear from Cruise Master, who had so many good Orianna ults that game.
Yeah, no, I would agree with that. Yeah.
Look at some damage dealt real fast. Did Cruise top it like I imagine? Yes, he did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Cruise was very good on a champion. I did not know he could play. So we'll see if we can pull him in here. And by that, I mean he's an admin. He can let himself in, so... That was what an incredible game.
User joined your channel.
That was the kind of game I made the SBL for. And there it is, the Orianna himself, Cruise Master, coming in off his 11-kill Orianna.
GG, my dudes.
Cruise,
Jeez.
what was the last 5 minutes of that game like?
Oh my god, like when we rushed down, we didn't take the inhibitor, and then it's like, just hit the tower, and then we didn't have minions because that stupid super minion was standing there, and like, the tension was thick, palpable. Insert word here. It was a clown fiesta of throws and counter throws and picks. And
were you guys? I actually stressed out. Like as a team, was it hard to be cohesive and actually finish this game out?
I think I didn't think we were stressed that much. There was just a lot of individual things that were like trying to remember, and then Salvo got picked at the end because he went the wrong way or whatever was happening there. And honestly, I don't think any of us had any plan on what was going to happen until we picked up that Lucian at that top and hip tower.
Yeah. Yeah, no, really, it's yeah, it was both AD carries getting picked at very inopportune times that almost spelled the end of the game for either side. As far as your Orianna pick, something we haven't seen you pull out at least this season at SBL, is this you personally or maybe as a team trying to get more team compositions down before you go into the playoffs?
Both. Like Orianna was something I was working on as a backup for Zyra, because it's all that zone control with a more localized ulti, not as heavy on disengage.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just something that works because you have Skarl always in the middle of them, and Dubdrum sometimes always in the middle of them, or if he gets hooked in, which seemed to happen a lot.
Yeah, and I mean, you didn't take the Zyra, and it was up totally unbanned.
Yes.
So this is a very conscious test of Orianna here.
Yes, this was the week we wanted to test things a little bit.
Rightfully so, but I mean, the tests almost turned out badly against QBC. But you guys pick up the win regardless, moving yourselves to 5-4. Very important for the playoff situation and how it's going to play out.
Yep.
How are you guys feeling going into this last week here? I don't know who you play offhand. Let me check.
I don't either.
You play.
This was basically
Pot
the
Agreed.
week. Pot Agreed. Okay. So if we lost this week, we were just gonna go full troll because there's no recovering from this half split.
So like, I mean, statistically, I don't think you were totally out of it. If
No,
you lost this
absolutely
one,
not.
but you mean just
No, but the
mentally-
morale
yeah.
of taking another hit, like losing this week, would have been
right, and that's what I said in the draft. Like honestly, the morale was a bigger thing for me. Not just like your playoff standings or whatever, but yeah, morale wise, this would be very hard.
like the first 2 weeks. This split morale was kind of low, and then we played last week. Even though we lost, morale went up a great deal because of like how we played in that early game, and then we still lost, so morale wasn't as good. And then this week was our home stretch of the gauntlet.
It was either the tipping point, either positive or negative, whatever it might be. Swift, any final questions?
That game said a lot for itself. So congratulations, Cruz. You guys are exciting to watch when it's on. I will say that much.
I'm
So, good
looking
luck next
forward
week.
to watching the VOD and the last 10 minutes of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that was an SBL classic in the last 10 minutes. So thank you for giving it to us. And we'll be back in just a moment, guys, with game 2. So stick around.